Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition, and I'm picking up some new people, so that's always good. Yeah, about 10 or 15 on board. Really enjoying this group, and anyway, we're going to start with Bitcoin. We're going to look at Ethereum, and then go over potential trading options with Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro. So we're focused on day trading today. We'll get started with the Bitcoin chart. And give me a wave if you can see my 1 hour Bitcoin chart. All right, actually, let's go to the day. And I had to widen this this channel even more. It's practically a funnel at this point, but anyway, this 31, 32 area does seem to be holding for support. So I guess that's something. But we had a pretty ugly drop over the weekend. Going to the hour, I drew this this trend line. I didn't have to draw a bottom trend line because my, that channel I just showed you is acting as the bottom. So we lost about $5,000 off Bitcoin. So percentage wise, it's 15 or 16%, 17%. So not a great weekend for Bitcoin. And, I got to tell you guys, I'm getting tired of the whales are doing this, the FUD's doing that. I mean, it's just got to get in gear and get back up there. That's what I think. Not sure what we can do to make that happen, but anyway, Ethereum took a beating too. Let's look at this on the day. I mean, from its high, well over $4,000. We've lost over 50% since May. And then over the weekend, I didn't draw a line, but I probably could. Go with the trend line here. I'd like to see it break up above this trend line before buying in again. I made what I thought was a low buy order in this area, and it just kept going. So I'm probably going to, on the swing trade portion of my my account, I'll probably make another buy down here. Not financial advice, but just a small one in case it dips lower. The buy I made at the actually is 2,500 area. Oh, I know why I did this, because it looked like it was going to punch through. Yeah, I went too soon on that. Anyway, so that's what I see happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're just still dropping. There's been mostly good news that I've seen. Looks like Bitcoin's making a run now, 32,000, a drop below. Let's go to the 5-minute. Yeah, it's been trading in this range most of the day between 32 and 31. And my day trading today was mostly shorting DOGE. That worked out pretty well for me. But I went long on a couple things that I used Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro for. We'll talk about those in a moment. But anybody have any questions about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the market overall, or anything on it? Statements, comments, insights? Nope. We're all just kind of.
Yeah, I got one. What's this death cross I hear talking about?
The death cross. We talked about that on Friday.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's see if I can show it to you. I don't have it on these charts.
Something about the 50-day and the 200-day crossing.
Yeah, this. Yeah, let's look at the day chart.
My life's upside down right now, so I get here when I can.
Understood. All right, so this is the 50-day. I could add Well, this is the 50-day moving average, and then what happened is the 200-day average came up,
Okay.
and they crossed. So it's a bad sign when, number one, you're trading underneath the 200. I mean, I'll just show it to you. It was kind of like, like that. I mean, well, it hasn't gone that far yet, but you get the idea. So it crosses here. We're trading under the 200-day average, which isn't good. That's a very bearish sign, and it's even more bearish when these cross. Now, one could argue that this was pretty obvious to see to traders who rely on this kind of thing, who are really into moving averages. It's one of the things I look at, but not my main thing. Especially as a day trader, our most important matters are price, which are indicated by candles and candle movement and volume. So moving averages are lagging, so they're less interesting to me as a day trader. But
okay, thank you. Sorry
you're
about that.
welcome.
I wasn't here.
It's okay. I mean, people have asked about this like in email and stuff. So, but we'll have hopefully the golden cross in the near future when Bitcoin comes up, and then it crosses over the 200-day.
Since you have new people, maybe you should explain the 50-day Bollinger Bands.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been using those ever since you showed me that 1, 2, 3 dip.
Yeah, that's
Well, it's a 50-day average, and I don't like that because the past averages over the last 50 days have been awful.
that's true. But it's what iCoinPro teaches, and it's supposed to be more conservative than the 20-day average, which is what most people do use. I think, Patrick, you propose using a even shorter one, right?
Well, I don't use an average when I use the Easy Trade program. So I'm strictly in Altcoin Alert, and looking back at the history as far as the price history and everything.
Pat, let me stop you there. I said Pat, I meant Patrick, because he's the one who mentioned the value of the SMA line and the. So I was curious what number you use for that, Patrick.
Oh, 50.
You do use a 50. You just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like using past averages to predict future prices. And what's happening is everybody's just cashing in money, hoping it's going to go up later. So when does later start?
Well, I agree, and that's some of the frustration you heard earlier when I was going over the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts. And but yeah, it's as far as past averages, it's all we have to look at, other than pretty much volume and price action. So those are current. But everything else that we rely on as day traders to some degree are lagging. They're the past. So, and I've seen some traders who don't use Bollinger Bands or any moving averages, and they only look at candle action and volume. So, there's that. I like confirmation from moving averages and RSI, MACD, things like that. So I think there's a place for all of them, but you have to find what works for you and incorporate that. All right, so here's the Bollinger Bands, and these are, if you want to change them, I did a video a week or two ago about how I set up my charts, and that would be the best place to look if you're trying to start from the beginning. If you want to change your settings, you can click on that gear that I just showed you, and here's the 50. You can change it to 20 if you want. Then you can also change the colors and the width of the lines and things like that. So
now you got changing to the 50, but you didn't change any of the other things, the 2, and you got a couple blank ones there. Those aren't needed for the Bollinger Bands? You had like 4 different adjustments you could make there.
Right. I left those as the defaults. So
okay.
So this is a second standard deviation that most people use for the Bollinger Bands. I also have this, see this light green, that's my third standard deviation. And in here, the purple That's my first standard deviation. So I have first, second, and third, and that's not really taught. iCoinPro recently started teaching about the third one.
You got too many lines in there for an old man to keep track of.
They've grown over the year, over the not years so much, over the months. So I've put some things in, pulled some out. I might pull out the first standard. I don't use it that much. I do use the second and third quite a bit. So, and then I've got a couple of moving averages in here too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's move on to Altcoin Alert. See if we can find some trades. All right, do a refresh to make sure we're current. All right, I've traded these three before: Bella, Chili's, and Nervos, or CKB. Chili's, I was going to try to do something with that on leverage today, but I got busy and didn't get to it. So, but here's how tough the day was. 3 of our winners are in the negative, and then the Sun coin doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I don't know if you guys have looked at this. I've never seen a chart like this in my life. I mean, it went down to almost nothing. It was at 3 cents at one point. Then it shot up. I mean, it started over here at $74 down to 3 cents. You assume that the project's dead at that point. No, it shoots up to, $18. Then down here, this is crazy. So I'm not touching this. I don't know what's going on with it, but I've never seen 90,000% increase in one day. But let's look at Chili's 81.8. Okay, on the day chart, we've seen these before. Most of these coins hit their highs, and this one was actually March, but in April or May, and they've dropped well over 50% since then. With the tough weekend these coins had with Bitcoin dropping 16, 17%, pretty much all the altcoins dropped more than double that. So we're not worried about topping out anywhere. And this is a dip pattern. This is 1, 2, 3. So we got a third dip, and it made a nice recovery, about 4%, and then started dropping again. So with the hard downtrend we're having, a lot of our 1, 2, 3 dip recoveries are not making it back to the SMA line. So you need to take that into consideration when you're doing your dip trades. I think a better spot, I mean, it's easy to be retroactive, but look at some of these resistances and supports, that hit just before the final dip sequence, and use that as your exit. So
that's getting ready to dip again below the bottom line.
It is.
Okay, so is that a cleaner third dip?
No.
Or is that considered a fourth?
It's a fourth.
Okay, so you just leave it alone, or you're starting your 1, 2, 3 over?
Well, there's a couple things you can do with this. I didn't trade this because I was getting ready for this, but I would have had I seen it. And I probably just would have taken 1 or 2% because I'm seeing how all these coins are downtrending. I haven't done much, much longing today. Most of my trades have been short, but we did get a nice 4% move on this. I probably would have tried to get out here, and if I set, maybe I got ambitious and tried to get out in this area and it doesn't make it, then a good ladder buy would be down here. If this punches through again and starts to show recovery, then maybe you make a ladder buy here, and now you got positions at 20.8 cents and here at 21.5 cents. So
okay,
then,
thank you.
Yeah, and you try to ride it back to where it was. So this is one to definitely keep an eye on. See, is Bitcoin doing this? Not quite. Bitcoin is 1, 2, not quite a third dip. So.
But it's very close to a third dip.
It is. And if you want to trade Bitcoin, you know, I mean, you should always look at Bitcoin before you make any trade anyway. So the ideal strategy might be just to watch Bitcoin for a while, see if it punches through on the third dip, and then look at whatever altcoins you're interested in. Sorry about that. And then trade those. That's what I usually do. I don't trade Bitcoin very often. And looks like it dropped through. You know, the way things are trending down, I'd probably look for a 1 or 2 green candles before I got in. It's no guarantee, but I like to see some sign of recovery. And then I'm not even trying to get anywhere close to the SMA line. Maybe this, I mean, I've got that's my 20-day moving average. So, or just look at where some of the candles line up as resistance. So this one has potential.
And you have a 5-minute chart on that, right?
Yeah, that's what I have up right now.
Okay.
It's a 5-minute.
All right.
And we look at the day chart. You know, we did that already, and then I kind of breezed past the hour real quick, but you can just see the trend down. So when the market was hot, you know, I'd look at this and see coins at their all-time highs, and then that was seems like a lifetime ago, but that was some kind of sometimes a deterrent, but we don't have that problem for the foreseeable future. All right, so let's keep an eye on, keep that one in our mind. And then CKB and Bell, let's look at Bell. All right, day chart, hit its high in April, down about 60–70% since then. Looking like most of the other coins, big hard downtrend. Got your squeeze and then a bubble. 1, 2, 3. So we got 1, 2, 3 dips all over the place, guys. So I'm getting a green candle here. I might wait for it to close and then get in, try to get back to maybe this area here and get 5 or 6%. It's a really good day trade. So I like that one. Chili's is starting to show a green candle, and Bitcoin is showing a green candle. So I want to see 1 or 2 of those before I actually jump in, but potential so far. I suspect CKP is going to look similar, so I'm not going to look at that one right now. Let's, since we have good trade options with our AA score, it's probably less necessary to go through the other sorts that I do, but I've been looking at the Elder Impulse Daily, and this compares the 20-day to the 50-day, gives a suggestion as to if it's a good idea to get in. TFUEL has been in this sort frequently the last couple of weeks. That one seemed to be, that one and its cousin Theta seem to be resisting the Bitcoin downtrends a little bit better than some of the other altcoins. So let's check out TFUEL. I don't have it there. It's dumping pretty hard right now, actually. Day chart, see it's actually had highs in June. So, but definitely took a dump yesterday. 5-minute chart. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's textbook 1, 2, 3 dip. I just don't trust Bitcoin right now. And 1, 2, 3 dip in a, you know, see that green candle switch to red pretty quickly. So probably want to see what Bitcoin does before I enter any alts, but could be a good dip sequence.
It looks like everybody's watching for the 1, 2, 3 dip, and then they buy and it goes up, but there's some overriding negative whale that brings it right back down.
Could be. That's
so the
as
overall
plausible
trend is down, down, down.
Yeah, it's as plausible explanation as anything. So, but yeah, I mean, the 1, 2, 3 dip is a very classic strategy that that day traders like to use. So I'm sure the whales know about it. All right, Bitcoin, TFUEL. Let's look at.
Yeah, you've got 4 bullish ones right at the moment on the Elder Impulse.
Yeah.
Right before the call, I was on there and I haven't updated my screen. There were 3 that were neutral and everything else was bearish.
Yeah.
So it turned around since you started the call, but I was just laughing because it was like the worst I've ever seen on the Elder Impulse Daily. No bullish at all.
Well, I'm going to show you some readings on the RSI SPY on iCoinPro, and it's going to be like, what? Everything's down. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Quant and Cream are probably going to look pretty similar. So let's look at Quant because I like that one. Huh. Oh, wait. QNT. There it is. KuCoin pair. Yeah, this one hit a high in June as well, fairly recently. It's dropped some, but I've been trying to catch it down here because I got stopped out on a swing trade, and then it popped up on me. So I'm trying to catch it again. But yeah, it's dropping too, but not quite as hard as the others. We got a 1, 2, 3. Made a nice recovery here. Not sure if it'll go in a 4th dip or not, but so that's, I mean, I could look at trading activity too, but we've had quite a few options from what we looked at so far. So anybody have?
Could you refresh the daily again, the Elder Impulse Daily? Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just refreshed mine. I don't have any bullish at all, which we should be getting the same thing.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. Here, I hit refresh. I click Elder Impulse Daily. I'm getting 3 neutrals and the rest bearish. I don't know. Maybe
are
I'll
you
text
sorting
Josh.
by?
Clicking right there where your mouse is on Elder Impulse Daily.
Huh. That's weird.
That is weird.
I've done this before and I got exactly the same thing you had on your screen, which is what I would expect. But
I don't have an explanation. That's odd.
Well, we'll call the tie and read them out.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Okay, well, I just want to double check that in fact I was seeing what I thought I was seeing.
That's good.
Thanks for double checking.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions on Altcoin Alert before we move on to iCoinPro? All right. iCoinPro, I wanted to show you guys the RSI SPY. We talk a lot about the Buddy Coin Crawler, which I have up here, but at least when I looked at this about half an hour ago, you got a sea of green here. These are all values under 30 on the 1 hour and the 4 hour RSI. So these are all oversold. Now there's a lot of Bitcoin pairs here. I don't trade those very often. And a few coins I haven't heard of with low volume like this one, MDX. But, you know, there's some better known coins like Neo, Ontology, BitTorrent, Doc, Cake. These are all, you know, Kava, WRX, and almost all, well, I've never seen this before, where practically all of them, probably not since, you know, COVID in March last year. So looking at these individually would be kind of be pointless. So pretty much everything is oversold. So go to our buddy Coin Crawler. My favorite sort's the average low to SMA line. I showed you the SMA line earlier on my charts. That's that halfway point between the Bollinger Bands. And the low is a 24-hour low. And so it's the percentage from the 24-hour low to the SMA line. It indicates coins that have room to move. Well, that's going to be a lot of them because everything's down, you know, 20 to 30% today. So this is one that I've traded lately. Some of you guys know Connie Reynolds, who was with our group when it first started. She likes this coin a lot and recommended it. And I had one good trade with it, and then it kind of tanked with the rest of them. But on the day charts, had some nice moves. Keeps trying to come back and then gets swatted down by Bitcoin. I caught a move from about 8 cents to 9.8 from 8 cents to 9.8 cents. That was a good trade. That was last week. And I've put what I thought was a low buy order in and picked it up and then dropped some more. And I made another low buy order down here. Should have been picked up by now. So on the 5 minute, 1, 2, 3, maybe a fourth. So this is looking like some of the others we saw. If you catch this, you know, some gaudy numbers to the SMA line. I don't know if many coins are going to reach the SMA line today, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But, you know, double digits, that's good stuff. So that one has potential. And, well, DOGE. I'll show you guys something on DOGE. All right, this is going to look like Sanskrit to some of you guys, but this is, I was shorting DOGE all day today, like 6-7 times, just using these indicators on something called Market Cipher, which takes a lot of different indicators and puts them on a chart in front of you, and it takes a while to learn how to digest all this information. But I'm essentially looking, because I get the chart action here, and I get the volume indicators down here, and like there's money flow and momentum. So this is all pretty cool once you learn how to take it in. I'm not really teaching on it yet because I haven't entirely figured it out to the point where I feel comfortable doing that. But regarding DOGE, I was just trading off some of these indicators most of the day, and most of them were short. So there is a DOGE bear coin on FTX. It's a leveraged token. I think Binance has one too, though I've heard some disturbing things lately about a Binance leverage token. So I know I've talked about them a lot before, and I've used them a lot before. Now that I'm trading basic leverage, I don't need to do it anymore. But some of you guys who want to dabble with leverage, just be careful with anything on Binance, because sometimes they just change. It's happened to me before where they just change the numbering, and what should have been a profitable trade isn't. So I think that's a bit shady, to say the least. All right, let's see what else we have on iCoinPro. DNT I saw listed on Altcoin Alert as well. Yeah, this one hit 50 cents back in April. About 3/4 drop since then. Had a pretty good pump earlier today, up to 22 cents. Gave up a lot of that. Wow, 38%. So what can we do with this now? Now, CJ, I want to trade now. 1, 2, 3, 4 on a 4 dipper. What's Bitcoin doing? 2 green candles on Bitcoin. It's pushing 31.5. We'll see. And might be time to get in some of these dip trades. We looked at Chili's earlier. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Got the dip sequence and then 2 green candles. Maybe try to catch a move up here. DNT. Man, you could get 7% maybe pretty easily on this. Yeah, like right back here. Chili's. I don't know. I probably shouldn't leverage trade while I'm on with you guys. I really want to though. Okay. Any questions on what we looked at with Chili's and DNT and look at TFUEL already, look at DOGE, Bitcoin Gold, low volume, don't like it. Let's look at one more here, BitTorrent, BTT. Had its run up back in April, cascading down. 1, 2, 3. You just don't see dips this perfect. You know, anybody could identify this. 1, 2, 3. 2 going up. 6.85% to resistance. SMA line about 9%. Looks pretty good to me. All right, we got a lot of 1, 2, 3 dips, guys. Any questions about those or any other strategies we looked at using iCoinPro and Altcoin Alert?
Yeah, I got a quick question, CJ. It's John Kozak.
Hey, John.
With everything falling like a rock, is it likely that the 1, 2, 3 dips are going to become 4, 5, 6 dips?
Yes, it is. That's why I'm suggesting you guys don't try to go to the SMA line like they frequently teach, but just try to get a few percent because there's a pretty good chance because each of these, you know, yeah, we got 2% here. Each time it goes up, it's giving us maybe 2 or 3%, but it's not clearing the dip. So
CJ, would you be trading these if we weren't sitting here looking over your shoulder, or would you wait for the
I'd be on
Bitcoin?
leverage with Chili's right now.
Okay.
I got a question, CJ, on
Okay.
you're trading small dips, and when they talked about the 1, 2, 3 dip, they were talking small percentages. But when you net out what your cost is to make the trade, what are you really making if you only do 1, 1.5%, 2%?
That's a good question. If you're on Coinbase Pro or you shouldn't be trading on Coinbase, but Coinbase Pro, I think it's 0.75%. Binance, which is where I do most of my trading, incorporates that fee, and it's negligible in my mind. It's so, you know, and I do almost all limit trading on my spot trading side and on my swing trades. So limit trades are very inexpensive. Like it's 0.25%. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I use KuCoin at, I think it's 0.8, but I keep a little stash of KNC to pay it, and it gives me that 20% reduction or something like that.
yeah, 0.8's high. There's got to be a better way to do that. For the, it's hard to day trade on that kind of, because you're losing 1.6% unless you're market buying. Maybe that's why it's high. So make sure you're using limits instead of market.
No, oh, okay. Yeah, I use limits, and then I use my trailing crypto program. So
Okay.
but I was just looking at where your net was, even at 25% or 0.2% or 0.3%, and you're only making 1.5%, 2%. Where do you look at as a reasonable trade as far as percentage profit net?
Well, the reason I've guided so many of you guys over to iCoinPro from Altcoin Alerts, because I wanted you to learn day trading. And I think iCoinPro is a really conservative and fairly simple thing to learn. So, and you can build your balance with, by stacking up 0.5s and 1% and 1.5%. You can't make a living at that if your balance is only $1,000. So the people who trade like that and make a living at it have very large balances, and they've built them up, over the months and years. So I don't know, Justin Clark, who's the co-founder of it, I don't know what his balance is, but I can't imagine it's less than 50K. So, and, so if you're starting with a trade of, $5,000 to $10,000 and you make, 1 or 2%, you're making $100 or $200, do that a few times a day and you can make a living on that. So,
Okay.
So the idea is to build your balance with this method first, and then you learn, and I still use, I use the 1, 2, 3 dip today, but Justin would be horrified if he knew I was trading leverage. But I have a higher risk tolerance. I have a higher risk tolerance than he does, and so does my mentor, Jeremy, who I've talked about before. But so the idea is you get the basics from iCoinPro, you get some of the information from Altcoin Alert, you combine some of these, we put our heads together and we try to figure out, what's the best way to trade this market and to make money every day or nearly every day. So that's what I like to do.
I'm with you. I like that too.
Yeah, you can swing trade and hodl and make money every week or every month or year or whatever, and that's okay too. But obviously I'm more focused on
I think we need to get off here and go make some trades because practically everything's turning up for a wee bit.
I won't be offended if anyone ever leaves my show to go make a trade. So
there you go. There you go.
We've got on Bitcoin, 3 out of 4 candles are trending up. Yeah, it's not perfect, but that's enough for me. Again, not financial advice, but okay. Patrick's sending us some cool stuff about TradingView. Patrick, you're writing like 2 paragraphs, dude.
Well, it's a neat thing, and I wanted to explain it. You know how pedantic I am.
I like that word, pedantic. Document high 510. All right, can you guys see the chat box right now on the screen? Okay. So can you
No, I can't see your chat box.
Okay.
DJ.
Yeah, I think I have to unshare the screen to do that. So you're saying something about text boxes, Patrick?
Oh, if you want to move text boxes around on the screen, you can hold the shift key down and select them all. And what I was explaining is that if you drag them way over to the left, the right of the screen, and then go down and change to a 5D chart, the text boxes will show up and they're still selected. so you can
Okay.
move them all again.
It's good to know.
I'll send it to you in an email and you can
Yeah,
distribute if you like.
Yeah, let's
No
do
big
that,
deal.
and I can kind of summarize it and do something with it instead of trying to nobody wants to watch me read, so. But thank
This
you
is
for
like
that.
playing-
Ah,
this
good
is like
tip.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
is like playing craps and everybody's betting on the don't. Not fun.
All right, sounds good. Okay, well, that's about all I had for Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro and looking specific coins. You guys have any questions about day trading in general?
I got an Ethereum question.
Okay.
Ethereum dropping the way it is with Ether Light about to drop. Is this ETH Light going to take over, or is it with this? Is this a hard fork or a soft fork? Is this?
Okay,
I'm a
Chris
little
is talking
confused on what's
about.
going to happen.
Chris was talking about one of the crypto business opportunities I'm in, but I don't really talk about those during this.
All right, understood.
This program. So if you want to hang around after, we can talk about it then. So I just don't want to get salesy, but yeah, that's an interesting project. We can talk about it after the recording. So, all right, any other questions? All right, well, we're on about 40 minutes, so I'll go ahead and stop the recording. Then we'll